everyone, welcome back to my channel. And today I want to finish up the video I had started about remaking the Petite Doll. Here I've marked the front of the head with an arrow just to remind me, because the head is a little bit symmetrical and I'm going to be taking off her hair, so I don't want to lose the front when we reconnect it to the body. Now, I'm not saying this is the right way to do this. Everybody, you know, I do everything a little differently. So I just am going to cut a slice off the top here. Not all the way, just partially, but this is just to get at the hair. I want to remove the hair. And I find this is about the easiest way for me to do it with the issues that I have with my hands. So this way it's easier to get to and I don't have to do quite so much work. So we'll just have to glue it back later, but that's okay. We can do that because we have E6000, remember. So anyway, now I'm just going to cut off the hair because it's easier to pull out when it's really short from the back. And later on we'll be putting some mohair back in so that it's nice natural hair. I just like that better than this synthetic hair. So anyway, just trimming this as close as we can to get it down to almost the scalp if possible. And that makes it a whole lot easier to pull the hair out from the back because it's knotted in the back. You can't pull it out from the top really. I mean, you could probably pull a few strands. And then I just use a pointed tool to go in and lift up the hair from the base. It's usually pretty easy to do because it's short now. And just really kind of just raking that along and pulling up all those knots of hair that are attached in the back, and then it makes it really easy to pull them out. So that's really the process here. We're just going to speed this up a little bit so it doesn't take so long, and just keep pulling until you get it all out. Once you get down to the final few hairs, a lot of those will come out from the front, but the ones that are sort of knotted in the back are harder to get out. Sometimes they're glued, but this one is not. It's just, you know, like woven in the back so that they don't come through when you comb it. So that's what it looks like. And I did actually end up taking the paint off, that gray paint. I don't show it in the video, but I did take that off because I'm using a lighter colored hair and I don't want that to show through. So it's easy to take off with just using some acetane or fingernail polish remover. And you can see here, that's what it looks like. And you can notice that concentrated area is the part where there's a lot of little holes. And we'll be making use of that. But I'm going to use this hair tool that I use when I reroot silicone dolls. And basically it's just it's actually, I think you could make one if you took a needle and you cut the part off that has the hole at an angle so that it has like a two-prong attachment of the end. And that's really what this is, although you can buy these rerooting tools on doll making sites, especially the ones that cater to silicone babies, because with silicone babies you can't glue hair or anything because nothing sticks to silicone, so you just jam the hairs into the head, you know, into the silicone, and then it just sort of closes around it. But anyway, I'm using the same procedure. It's basically, I usually just take a loop. There you can see the little prong on the end. And then just jamming it into the hole. You just take a few strands. I like to make a loop with the hair and then just push it through, take a few strands into that attachment that has the little notch, and then just push it into the hole. And then later we're going to glue the back, but first we're just going to go ahead and get all of these in. Now this is a really painstaking process, and I don't do this on every doll. Some dolls I will just glue hair to the top. I do that with a lot of the Blythes, but I have rerooted some of those as well. But sometimes gluing actually is better. I know that sounds weird. You would think doing it like this would be better, but sometimes it is actually better in terms of how it ends up looking, especially if you have a really interesting hairstyle. Is, you know, difficult to do. But this doll, because I'm wanting it to look really natural, and I'm using this lighter colored hair, and I want to be able to style it different ways. want to be able to comb it and all that stuff, I think it's going to work better to reroot it. So what I do is I start on the outside edge. You can see I'm just going around and around, and I will leave open that area where the part is for the last, and that's where we're going to put a large concentration of hair, so that when we part it, there isn't a lot of scalp showing. All right, so just showing you the progress as we go. I've gotten to the point now where we're at the scalp, the part, and I have now completed that. Thanks to the magic of editing, that went really fast. So now you can see there's all the hairs that we pushed through. So now to secure that, you really want to glue that really, really well, because if you don't get the glue mixed in with all the hairs when you comb it or try to style it, it's going to pull them out. So of course I'm going to use my trusty E6000, and I'm just squeezing a glob of that in there, and then I'm going to use a tool to go in and mash it down so that I'm making sure that the glue is pressed into all the hair fibers. Like I said, this is actually I said mohair, this is actually Tibetan lamb hair fiber. I found a place that I can get it where they will send you just the hair and not the actual skin, because I don't like to use that part. I like it where they will shear the animal and use it. I don't want to get their skin, because I'm not all about killing animals. Anyway, let that dry. I propped it open with that, and this is where it is now. I've glued the head back together. So we now have our nice hair. I did wash it and dry it. As you can tell, it's really nicely dried and looks nice and combed out and everything now. So the fiber usually has a lot of oil and dirt in it, so I usually wash it. So again, I'm going to make use of that arrow that I put, because it's hard to tell the front and back, but that's the front part. So now we're just going to put the doll back together, and that's usually the hardest part to get everything in and get the body to stay in place and everything. So just try to keep the body in that little groove, neck groove, and then put the face plate on, and then all you have to do is screw it back together if it doesn't fall apart, which of course, it's going to fall apart. So one thing you'll notice is that because I had, did the face up and added color to the face, that the scalp skin that's showing under the hairline where it meets the face is much lighter than the face. So I'm going to have to spend a little time adding some color to that scalp strip that's right underneath the hairline, so that it doesn't look out of place and it matches with the face paint that I did earlier in the other video. If you haven't seen the other video, I did a face up and showed how to change the eyes of this doll and all of that sort of thing, so that she looks more customized. Okay, so you can see now we're going to just take some pastels and go back in and darken up that skin to match the face, the coloring of the face, so that it doesn't look so odd like she had a suntan and had a cap on or something. So this is common. You have to do this a lot, because you're messing with dolls that have different areas that show where you're doing your face up, so you may have to go back and do a little bit of repair work. Sometimes that's the front of the head or the back of the head or whatever. I usually sign the back of my heads and number them, because I do sell my dolls on Etsy. And this doll, actually, because this was done so long ago, is already sold. But she turned out really nice, I think. I really like how she turned out. I almost wanted to keep her because she's super cute. But, I got too many dolls as it is. Anyway, I'm going to finish this up, and I did cover up her hair and take her out and spray her again with Mr. Super Clear, just to get that color set. But now you can see it matches a whole lot better. And I just took my little tiny curling iron that I got at Amazon. It's like a 1/4 inch, I believe. I put a little hairspray on this hair because it will curl initially, but then it'll fall out really fast. So if I put a little hairspray on it, it usually holds it pretty well as I'm doing it. And then also you can go in and put hairspray on it afterwards. It's just like human hair. You can use heat on it. You can wash it. You can comb it. That's why I like to do the real fibers instead of leaving the synthetic hair. It's just so much more fun. So that's really the end of the video. We finished her up. We sprayed her. Now I'll show you some photos of how she looked as the finished product. We gave her a real cute little outfit with dress and boots and a sweater and a nice little toboggan hat. And she was really fun to play with. She's really fun to style. I really like the petites. I don't really like making the custom ones because they're too little, but I like them when they're finished. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you on the next video. Take care. Bye.